The Pentagon briefing room fell deathly silent as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth leaned aggressively into the microphone, his finger jabbing toward the press corps. "Jennifer, you've been about the worst," he declared, transforming what should have been a strategic military update on U.S. strikes against Iran into a stunning public shaming of Fox News' respected national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin. This unprecedented personal attack marked the opening salvo in the Trump administration's coordinated offensive against journalists challenging its narrative about the effectiveness of strikes targeting Iran's nuclear program. Like, comment, and subscribe now as we investigate this dangerous escalation in the White House's war on media credibility. The battle for truth has never been more critical. Within hours, the administration's crosshairs expanded dramatically as White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt launched her own broadside against CNN's Natasha Bertrand from the James S. Brady briefing room podium. She wrote a lie from the intelligence community to seek a narrative she wanted to prove, Leavitt asserted without evidence, referencing Bertrand's reporting on intelligence assessments. This calculated dual-front assault, targeting reporters from both the administration's favored Fox News and its frequent CNN adversary, revealed a deliberate strategy to discredit any reporting contradicting the White House's claim of having obliterated Tehran's nuclear capabilities. The intensity reached fever pitch when President Trump himself demanded Bertrand's firing the previous day, dragging her past reporting on Hunter Biden, Russian interference, and the pandemic into his social media tirade in what press freedom advocates describe as a blatant intimidation campaign. The Pentagon confrontation centered on Griffin's precise, technical questioning about Iran's Fordow enrichment facility, a fortified underground complex buried deep within a mountain near Qom. "Can you confirm with certainty that all of Iran's highly enriched uranium stockpiles were contained at Fordow at the time of the strikes?" Griffin pressed, citing intelligence sources suggesting possible material dispersal to undisclosed locations. Hegseth's explosive response, "Jennifer, you've been about the worst," carried disturbing personal undertones amplified by his history as a Fox and Friends host, with colleagues noting his familiarity with Griffin made the rebuke feel like a betrayal from within the family that weaponized proximity to undermine credibility. Simultaneously, the White House escalated its campaign against Bertrand over her reporting on a leaked Defense Intelligence Agency memo that contradicted administration claims of total destruction, with the assessment concluding strikes merely degraded, not eliminated, Iran's uranium enrichment capabilities while noting possible undisclosed facilities. Leavitt's accusation that Bertrand fabricated a lie from the intelligence community blatantly ignored CNN's explicit editorial caveats that this represented an initial finding that could change with additional intelligence, while Trump's subsequent demand for Bertrand's firing, "Fire Natasha immediately." Fake news CNN protector of radical left Democrats marked a chilling presidential directive against a journalist performing her constitutionally protected duties. The coordinated attacks triggered immediate, forceful responses from major news organizations in a rare show of institutional unity against governmental intimidation. CNN issued a sharply worded statement declaring, "CNN's reporting made clear this was an initial finding. We do not believe it is reasonable to criticize CNN reporters for accurately reporting the existence of the assessment and accurately characterizing its findings, which are in the public interest." Anchor Jake Tapper amplified the defense on air, calling Trump's attack preposterous, and declaring the president was going after, shooting the messengers in an increasingly ugly way. The New York Times, facing its own White House criticism, vowed to continue to report fully on the administration's decision-making, including his dispute with the Defense Intelligence Agency, framing the conflict as a fundamental accountability issue transcending individual newsrooms. While Fox News issued no official network statement defending Griffin, colleagues privately expressed outrage, with one senior correspondent noting, "Attacking Jen. She's the most meticulous, non-partisan professional in the briefing room. This proves no one's safe if they ask real questions," revealing the administration's strategy to enforce ideological purity even within traditionally friendly outlets. Administration officials and political analysts identified multiple strategic drivers behind this intensified assault on press freedom, beginning with the urgent need for narrative control regarding the Iran strikes as questions mounted about their actual effectiveness. If they make the story about lying media, they avoid explaining why the DIA assessment contradicts their victory lap, noted a former Pentagon spokesperson, highlighting the deflection tactic. The administration also deliberately exploits widespread public distrust of media institutions, with one national political reporter observing, "These people are never going to lose any polling points attacking the media, we know that for sure," emphasizing the perceived low-risk, high-reward nature of the strategy that resonates with Trump's base. The timing further serves Trump's 2024 campaign positioning by portraying him as besieged by hostile institutions, while simultaneously creating a chilling effect designed to temper investigative reporting through personalized intimidation. Hearing "Jennifer, you're the worst" from the SEC def makes every reporter wonder, "Will I be next?" explained a veteran White House correspondent. It's psychological warfare meant to sanitize future briefings. Historically, while previous administrations clashed with the press, the personalization and public targeting by name from the highest levels represents a dangerous erosion of democratic norms. Unlike Nixon's privately compiled enemies list, Trump's team executes public pillorying from official podiums. Contrastingly, while the Obama administration pursued leak prosecutions through legal channels, Trump personally vilifies journalists by name, and whereas the Bush administration disputed WMD reporting through policy arguments, it generally avoided naming individual reporters for condemnation from the Pentagon or White House podium. Renowned First Amendment attorney Floyd Abrams underscored the gravity, stating, "This isn't policy disagreement. It's the raw, personalized exercise of governmental power to punish specific journalists for constitutionally protected work. The chilling effect is palpable and perilous to democracy itself." Hegseth's singling out of Jennifer Griffin, a Fox News reporter, revealed particularly ominous dimensions to the strategy. As a journalist embodying Fox's traditional national security reporting, fact-based, deeply sourced within defense circles, and insulated from the network's opinion programming, attacking Griffin serves dual purposes. It signals to the base that even Fox isn't immune from punishment if it demonstrates editorial independence, while simultaneously attempting to fracture the network's identity by driving a wedge between its news division and pro-Trump opinion hosts. If Jen Griffin is the worst, what does that say about Fox's credibility to MAGA viewers? Observed a conservative media analyst. It forces an ultimatum: loyalty to Trump or loyalty to journalistic principles. The consequences of this coordinated strategy extend far beyond the immediate political skirmish, threatening foundational democratic structures. The calculated erosion of public trust in media institutions makes it increasingly difficult for citizens to access verified information, creating fertile ground for disinformation. From a national security perspective, it deters legitimate scrutiny of military actions and intelligence assessments, potentially shielding policy failures from examination. Globally, it provides authoritarian leaders with a blueprint for delegitimizing critical journalism, while domestically it increases physical risks to named reporters from extremist elements emboldened by official rhetoric, already witnessed in heightened security concerns for both Griffin and Bertrand. The administration's personal targeting of journalists represents not merely a breakdown in government press relations, but a direct assault on accountability mechanisms essential to democratic survival. As the White House seeks to replace inconvenient truths about Iran's nuclear capabilities with political narratives, its weapon of choice remains the public vilification of truth-tellers. The unified media pushback, from CNN's defense of Bertrand to the quiet outrage within Fox News, highlights the industry's recognition of this existential moment. Yet the administration's confidence stems from a cynical political calculus, exploiting media distrust for immediate gain, regardless of long-term damage to democratic discourse. The chilling effect now permeates every government briefing room, silencing not just questions about Iran but all future accountability journalism. The ultimate cost will be measured not in bruised professional egos, but in the gradual silencing of the very institutions that prevent power from operating unchecked in darkness. Like, comment, and subscribe below to stay engaged as this pivotal battle for truth unfolds. The free press needs public vigilance now more than ever.